Today I have an update for you on a story that I covered back in February of this year, because it is official. The spending limit on each use of a contactless card is to rise from £45 to £100 from the 15th of October. The maximum amount was increased from £30 to its current limit at the start of the pandemic, and plans to raise it further were announced in the budget. Nearly 2/3 of all debit card transactions are made via the tap and go technology. This is absolutely fantastic news, and if you watch the video that I did back in February, you'll see that I was just so thrilled that this was in consultation. The Chancellor announced it at the budget earlier this year, and now it is official. £100 is going to be the new limit for contactless payments, and this is a game changer because it's going to make life so much easier for millions of people with those much bigger purchases that they often make, now just being able to do it in one single tap of £100 or less. Absolutely incredible. Now, there is some pushback to this news, which I'll talk about in just a moment, but I think on the whole, this is clearly a very, very big deal. When contactless card payments were introduced in 2007, the transaction limit was set at £10. Cards were generally used in this way in place of small change when buying snacks, papers and occasional groceries. The limit was raised gradually to £20 in 2012, then to £30 in 2015. But the pandemic accelerated a move away from cash, with shoppers often being encouraged to use contactless in many stores to reduce close contact between staff and customers. And again, this is exactly the point that I made back in the video in February. You know, the pandemic has been an accelerant of change. Look at the short space of time between the start of the pandemic and now, literally a year and a half. And now we're going to make a massive jump, by far the biggest jump, from £45 to £100. It's truly, truly incredible. And, you know, that is how things go. When we have a payment method that is just so easy to use, so simple. Everyone knows how to use it. You don't even have to be taught how to use it. Just literally tap your card or whatever device you're using that has your card on it. You just tap it on the reader and you are good to go. It's worth noting though that the change to £100 won't come in immediately in October. It'll take time for individual retailers to sort out their own payment terminals to make sure that they're updated to take £100 or buy contactless. So it will be a gradual process heading into 2022 before everyone is accepting contactless payments of up to £100. There are concerns that the next increase will prove tempting for criminals to step up efforts to steal cards. A report for UCL's Jill Dando Institute of Security and Crime Science said that credit and debit cards were known as hot property for criminals. Now yes, this does have the potential to be a bit of a problem. In fact, data from Action Fraud shows that between April 2017 and January 2018, there were around 2,700 cases of theft relating to contactless cards, worth almost £1.8 million, compared to the previous year, where there were just 1,400 cases of fraud relating to contactless cards, worth just over £700,000. Now, I wonder what the impact of the pandemic will be on those numbers, but I will say that the number of contactless payments is continuing to go up, and that is a trend that is not going to be reversed anytime soon. But what I will say on the security front is that many more people are now making contactless payments using their phones or their smartwatches, which means that biometrics are involved. So if you're using your iPhone, for example, on Apple Pay to pay for stuff, you either have to have a fingerprint or Face ID to be able to make that payment. If you're using an Apple Watch, your Apple Watch will have to be unlocked, you have to be wearing it. But there's something that banks will have to work through, and I don't think it's anything insurmountable. I think it can be done, but if you have solutions like using it on your phone, that's going to be more secure than having a physical card, right? So it's about that balance, really. What would you rather use? Would you rather use your card or your phone? I know what I'd rather use, but, you know, it's up to each individual to decide. But overall, £100 limit is fantastic. And I think that more people will now be tempted to ditch cash as a result. You know, for me personally, I pretty much only use cash when I'm getting my hair cut. I mean, that's literally it. For anything else, always use contactless. It's so easy, much more efficient. Just get the job done quicker. That's just how it's got to be.